Hey YouTube, this is Youth Prepper, and I will be doing a video today on basic bug out necessities. Alright, what we have here is some binoculars, Humvee, with red lenses. Red lenses are good because if you're in a hilltop and you don't have lenses like that, they can see you from the glare in sniper rifles and stuff. That's why a lot of scopes and red dot sights have that too. Reduces glare. Next thing we have here, you're gonna need a good knife when the shit hits the fan. This is an elk ridge, bought it for about 30 bucks. Nice handle, nice wood. Now I prefer fixed blade over folding, because folding you might not be able to get out in time, and these last longer. Also, fire starting kit, you're going to need this. Got matches and some tinder. Trioxane. Trioxane's good for cooking and purifying water. What's here? Here I have a purifying water setup. I have a canteen for gathering water and a canteen cup for boiling it. And that's how I will purify my water. Because boiling it gets out all bacteria. It's the easiest way. I don't need a water purifier, it won't run out. And what also I have is some survival wrap. This, I believe, is Mylar wrap. This is good in cold situations, like I live up north, so it's good for situations like that. I need a bug out. Also, I also have this little shovel here. Camping shovel. Also has a compass. It not also has a can opener, but a serrated edge. Good for burying your shit or whatnot if you have a camping site. You will also need a lensatic compass, much like here. Make sure it's lensatic. I got a cheap one. You want the ones with the wire. It has a thin line through it. Now these are good. Military uses them. Special forces, they use them to navigate. Very good. What you're probably mostly going to need is rounds for hunting. How to gather your food. You're going to need a primary weapon, at least, to gather food. I chose a 12 gauge because it also has birdshot and slugs. Slugs can take out deer. Birdshot can take out animals like waterfowl, geese. But another good shit hits the fan gun is a 22. I hear this a lot, but it's very good. It's less powerful than these. It might not be a people stopper, but it's good for hunting. And they're very inexpensive and cheap. I will also take a secondary weapon, my 9mm, to the bug out location, because who knows, you might encounter your shotgun might jam, which they usually don't, but you never know, you might drop it, might not have enough ammo in it. Also, for nighttime, these chem lights by Siloam, they're pretty good lights. And I also have radios. Radios are good for a bunch of reasons. Let's say there's a trading port in town and a bunch of people are trading in the rural areas. So you would have someone on the hillside to see what's going on with these. You bring someone down to go look what's in there, or what they have, and if something goes wrong, they can always alert you with the button. And these are good for about 15 miles. Long range ones are pretty good if you get lost, you know. You can always contact the person. I always have seeds in there for planting. Who knows, your bug out location might be a good spot, and if you come back and if you live in an urban area and not rural, there might be people still alive in the city. Or who knows, they might shoot you. So the good thing is seeds, because you might have to start in an alternate location for who knows how long. Coffee. Coffee is good. Everybody loves coffee. Trade under certain circumstances, and you can use it just to get up. Most people aren't going to rely on this, but you know. Also, what is good is Tide. With Tide, you can wash your clothes. Many people haven't thought about that. But you're going to have to bring some clothes with you, and you're going to get dirty. And can be used as articles of trade under certain circumstances. What we also have is a knife sharpener. Knife sharpeners are good because your knife's eventually going to get dull. There's no way around that. We also have emergency rain poncos for when it gets really wet, thunderstorms, whatnot. When you're bugging out, you're going to need that for some protection. Now, I also carry a multi-tool. With the multi-tool, you also have a saw and a secondary blade. In case this gets damaged or breaks for whatever reason, you always have a secondary. And with this, you can hotwire cars or open doors. These are good for a lot, just like a Swiss Army knife. If you have one of those, bring it. Swiss Army knives also have those. But you're also going to need, say it gets really bad, or for whatever reason, whatever's going on, and people start shooting each other, you go out in the wood and there's other people there, or somebody shoots you, you're going to need a medical kit. I usually keep this in my home, but for bugging out, it's pretty good. Now these are not sterile, so I advise bringing 100 proof alcohol or higher in nips or little bottles, or rubbing alcohol or whatever you have in your bug out bag. You have tweezers, you have scalpels, you have scalpel blades, you have pen lights, you have everything to dig out a bullet. And the first rule when you get shot is to keep direct pressure on it. I'll explain that in another first aid video. But you're also going to need basic necessities, like some lip balm and stuff like that. Lips are going to get chapped in the winter if you have winter up here. What I also carry with me, in an everyday carry, I have a pen. Now this is not just a pen, it's a pen knife. I carry this along with my regular clip-on knife. Because who knows, you go into Trade Town, you don't want to bring a knife because somebody might search you. They find this pen writes, and they don't even know it's a knife inside. So if somebody tries to jack you or steal your stuff, you can just go ahead and have a way with them. What I also carry in my wallet is these credit card lockpicks. After the shit hits the fan, you can move back into the city environments or whatnot and go into storage containers and harvest food or supplies. A good thing to have is playing cards to keep morale up. Morale is a big issue in a survival situation, as well as basic training. If you don't have good morale, you're probably not going to make it. It's usually 95% mental, 5% physical. That's what they say. Now these are good for games. You can teach your son it, you can teach whoever it. Another thing I keep in my bug-out bag is pocket Bible. This is Proverbs. But pocket Bibles are good to keep your faith. Keeping faith will be important. You'll pass that on to your children also. What you definitely need is a first aid kit. Get your alcohol wipes, get everything to take care of it. You get gauze pads in the bottom. But I also advise, if you can get some, if it's not too much money, get some moleskin. Because you're going to be hiking, you're going to be walking, you're going to get blisters. And if you want to keep walking, put some moleskin on it. Or you could cut a little hole around the blister. That way it has some room to breathe and stuff. You don't want to step on it and pop it. I also keep a flashlight. This will last 72 hours. This is a Nebo Redline. Has 3 functions, different lumens, and a strobe feature. The strobe lasts 72 hours. It says it right there. I also keep matches. Matches are a good thing. If you don't have matches, on this case, they also have a striker. I'll show you here that it works. If I can get it. That's a striker. Many of you didn't know that. That's what that is. Also keep Strike Anywhere matches. You can strike them on rocks. They're the best matches, and you should keep them in here. if you can't afford the survival matches. Another thing I keep at home, or you can take with you at your bug out location, 8-hour, 9-hour candles. They're good for seeing, of course, and they can heat your tent. One candle can give you heat for your tent for the night. You see, I live in a climate where 6 months is winter, 6 months summer. It's cold out. You know, you're going to need light eventually. You can start a fire, you can have that. You might not be able to start a fire, it might be in the middle of the night. I also keep food. This is a 72-hour ration bar. Each bar, this is 3,600 calories. The same thing as an MRE or combat meal. Each bar is compressed concentrated food, and this is Daytrix. It's very small, but good for survival kits, stuff like that. Tastes like coconut, watch the allergies, waterproof, good food to have. Eat every once in a while. You ration your food. You gotta ration it. 4 main things of survival, if you ever get lost, are fire, water, shelter, and food. In that order: fire, water, shelter, and food. Because without fire, you don't have warmth, you don't have a way of protecting yourself to keep the animals away, you don't have a way of cooking meats and stuff. Shelter is also important. You're going to need that. If it's cold, you're going to need it, no matter what. Tent, survival shelter will do. Water, the most important of all, even though I put it third, because you're going to need those two if it's really bad outside. Water, you're going to need that no matter what. You can only live up to 3 days without water. Food, that's the last thing. You can go a month without food. It's proven people have survived a month without food. So you're not going to eat that right away. You're going to ration your meals, whatever you can find. You ration them with your family, your friends, or whoever you can take with you. A watch is pretty good, because if you lose your compass, you can always orient yourself with a watch. There's you can get a manual for this, you can look it up. I've taken ground school, basic survival school, then the auxiliary of the Air Force. I have all that neat stuff, all those skills. Canteen got way of gathering water, way of purifying it. I suggest this if you can't afford a lot. What everyone's going to need are these: toothbrush, toothpaste, soap. You're going to want to keep cleaning if you can. You're going to stink if you go into a trade port or something, I know. If you go into trade, but you know, you don't want your teeth to rot out. You don't want to smell like shit. So that's pretty good. All of this, if I could only take one thing, it would have to be the knife. There are other ways of sharpening stuff using flint or whatever you can find, because you can always purify water with this. You need that too. Alright, this is my bug up bag right here. It's 3,400 cubic inch, has an Nalgene, and this is all the stuff. Trioxane fuel bars, MyLair survival wrap, Tide. That's the minimum what you will need. You're going to need to pack clothes. Now, I don't keep an extra pair of clothes in here. I just say that because I go to school and stuff. So what I will do in a bug out situation, you're going to have a couple days warning, or at least a couple hours. You're going to have some time to know what's happening. So what you will do is just pack it. You'll have all this packed, ready to go, and you just pack your clothes and you go. And alright, see you, YouTube.